In this first model deals with the introduction of the supply chain. What is the supply chain strategy, and what decision phases the company takes in order to have that supply chain. That it should match with the business business processes, business activities. The entire supply chain activity should be in line, in parallel with that. Okay. And supply chain, um, as in previous class I have told, it's related to each and every of your branch. Okay. If there is a warehouse management, a construction of a warehouse, construction of transportation system, it will be, it depends upon what kind of supply chain the company is using, what kind of warehousing, what kind of products that needs to be kept. So civil engineers will come into play in that. How to manufacture, what will be the height of the warehouse, what kind of machines will be there, what kind of products will be there. So what kind of ventilation or no ventilation should be there, or whatever the structure of that building will be. Okay, so depending upon that requirement of the company and the requirement of the products which the company is keeping into that warehouses, or making into that factory, so that needs to be taken care by the civil engineers also. So what kind of a supply chain a company has, and what are their requirements for uh, they need basically to set up of that warehouse and set up of that factory and so on. Okay. And the electronics and CS and other EC, and double E is not there, triple E is not there here, but everyone gets involved into the actual processes. Okay, when the product is there on the conveyor belt, it is going somewhere. Like, we have seen the photos of Amazon warehouses, the Flipkart warehouses, Walmart warehouses rather, and how the Dell, directly from the manufacturer, it provides the laptop in the hands of the customer. It skips all the middle people, all the distributors, all the retailers. It skips, and directly it can give, because it has that supply chain capabilities. Customization of the laptops depends depending upon the customer requirement. So in that case also, whenever the conveyor belts are there, or the warehouses are there, this the tracking of information is there. Everything is related to IT, and how the machine is moving, how the conveyor belt is moving, how the products are getting segregated, and how the labeling is done, what kind of this programming is required. Everything the EC and CS engineers will get involved into that. Okay, because Walmart, Big Bazaar, Reliance Mart, more, everyone works on the IT systems to manage their supply chain, manage the products availability in their store. Okay, manage the distribution centers. So everyone gets involved into the supply chain activity. Okay, so it is kind of a relevant for everyone. Okay. Now, whoever is joining now, kindly write good morning. Okay. Okay. So I'll start with the model again. Okay. This is what you're going to study in this. Okay. And this is what a supply chain, which I last time I talked about. Okay. It starts from here, the procurement. I will procure the raw materials. Okay. And my suppliers will supply it to me. I'll manufacture it, keep it in the warehouses. Okay. Then that finished product will be shipped to the customer using this process, which is called as logistics. It is also a important branch of supply chain management, because after the product is produced, how it will get delivered to the consumers. Okay. Because yeah, I'm specifying on consumers. I'm using this word very specifically because there may be customers here in the logistics arm also. Because when I'm manufacturing, I'm sending it from warehouse. If so, from warehouse, maybe a detergent soap or a biscuit, okay, a pack of biscuits, how it will have its journey. After after they get manufactured, they will be sent to a distributor. Okay, that distributor will be a customer for the company. Then from the distributor, it will be sent to the wholesaler. The distributor is the supplier, and the wholesaler is the customer. The wholesaler is not going to consume the biscuit. Wholesaler will sell the biscuit to the retailer, retail shop owner, the kirana shop owner, or your Ramesh canteen. Okay, he is the retailer. That retailer will be the customer, the wholesaler will be the supplier. Then from the Ramesh canteen, you are going to buy that biscuit, you are going to buy that chocolate. So you are going to consume it. Okay, then you are the consumers, and the supplier is the Ramesh canteen. Okay, so this is how the entire customer and supplier relationship gets on changing throughout the logistics arm. Okay, so the person who is going to actually use the product, actually consume the product. Consumption doesn't mean only eating. Consumption can anything. If I am using my cell phone, then I am the consumer of the cell phone. Remaining all people were the customers and the suppliers in the logistics arm, from warehouse to customer consumers. Okay, so this forms also a major part. So after the product reaches the consumer, then the flow of money starts, and the money gets to shareholders to and again the shareholders decide what to change in the product or what to bring new things. Then it is implemented by the sales and product development. Okay, what kind of new biscuits we need to launch? We need to launch a cream biscuit, or certain flavors needs to be added in that, or certain things. Then for that specific, suppose a strawberry flavored biscuit is coming, then that sales and development will design that biscuit, and then the procurement again starts. Okay, for strawberry flavor we need strawberries. Okay, so we need to procure strawberries also this time. So it goes like this. Then the strawberry is being procured, and then that is supplied to the factory, and the factory will manufacture the strawberry flavored biscuit, and it will continue. Well, this is what the supply chain, the basic supply chain, will start from procurement and end to the consumers. And these two are the additional phases. Okay, where the changes in the procurement will happen because of changing of flavor or something like that. Okay, then this was the stage of the supply chain. Okay, here there is a customer who wants to buy a detergent from Walmart store. So that detergent should be available in Walmart store. Walmart is not going to manufacture the detergent. It is going to take it from the distribution center. That distribution center will take it from the PNG. PNG is the company who is going to manufacture the detergent. Now PNG will not manufacture the production the manufacture the product. It will give the production to the third party. Okay, that third party, a chemical manufacturer, will manufacture the detergent and send it to the PNG company. The plastic producer will produce the wrapper around that detergent and send it to PNG. And this Pactive Corporation is another company which will manufacture the uh, paper covering of that detergent and send it to PNG. So from the timber company, it will be paper will be manufactured in Pactive Corporation. Pactive Corporation send it to PNG. So everyone gets involved into manufacturing of detergent, and finally PNG logo will be printed and send it to Walmart distribution center, Walmart store, and then to customer. So these many people are involved if a small detergent needs to be given to the customers. Okay, so this is the entire supply chain, these different stages. Okay, I'm going fast because we have done it in the previous class. Okay, and there are three evolution of supply chain. The first one was vertically integrated firms. Okay, with low variety of products. That means look at this fleet of cars of Ford. Okay, so well, this is a black and white photo, but all the cars of Ford were black at that time. Okay, because and there were no variety provided. Why? Because only Henry Ford was the person who was manufacturing the cars. Okay, the fuel cars which was manufactured at that time were only manufactured by Ford Motors. So he didn't had any competition. So whatever he provided, people had to buy it. And Henry Ford controlled everything in the supply chain, starting from extracting of iron ore, making it into iron sheets, making those iron sheets into cars. Okay, supplying of rubber. Okay, owning that rubber extraction unit. Okay, how where they extract the rubber from the trees, everything from there till the manufacturing of tire he needs to control. So the entire supply chain was in the control of Henry Ford. So he offered low variety of products because there was no competition, no kind of suppliers for him. He was himself controlling everything. Okay, so that was the phase once upon a time. So till production he was giving an importance, and after production the customer himself will take pain to come to the store and buy the cars. Okay, and they didn't had any option. They have only one kind of cars available. Now we have so many cars available, so many companies, and in one car itself we have so many variant. If you have an XUV, you have XUV 500, you have TUV 3, TUV 200, KUV 200, TUV 300, XUV 900 also is going to come. Okay, and many varieties of cars. Okay, now next evolution was it offered wide variety of products with tightly integrated supply chain. Okay, by this I mean there was one car company who was giving wait, there was one car company called as Toyota, and for manufacturing of Corolla they were uh, employing these many suppliers. Okay, Toyota was not manufacturing entire car. Toyota was only focusing on the core process, which was the manufacturing of engines, improving the performance of engines, making fuel efficient engines, and all those things. So the supplier of tire will be someone else. Okay, tire, yeah, and the brake pad, the front brake, the coil sprays, the pedal, the acoustics, then this lamp, then keyless entry, roof enforcement, sunroof. Everyone, everything was is manufactured by some or the other supplier. So it was because of this they could offer wide variety of products. Okay, till till 1970. It was started in 1960s and 70s. Okay, so this was the reason they could provide many varieties of the same model of the car for that matter. Okay, and then the third revolution was started in which virtually integrated global supply networks offering customized products and services. Okay, but in this we have seen the video of Dell. I'll just explain it. When Okay, sorry for that noise. Okay, that okay, the video of Dell which we have seen, in that video a customer calls the call center of a Dell, and that call center asks the customer what you need a laptop. The customer tells, I need a laptop for my kids who are into gaming. Okay, they play lots of games, so I need a laptop for them. So depending upon his needs, the call center starts suggesting him, okay, you need a high graphics card, you need this kind of a screen, and he suggests something, they suggest something, and in the end kind of a PC is built for him, or a laptop is built as per his requirement. Okay, whatever he needs, whatever he will use it, as per his requirement, the product will be built. A very customized product. Okay, just like your furniture in your home. Okay, the carpenter will come, take the measurement, go come back after 15 days or 20 days with the furniture as per your fittings of the wall, or fittings of the wardrobe, or whatever it is. So at a customized way he'll fix you the furniture in your home and go. So same way, that customized way, the Dell offered laptops and computers to the customers, so that it was the next level of giving variety to the products. Okay, so that's what we did in the last class. Okay, uh, okay. Before that, any doubts? Shall I do something? Okay, there is an announcement going on here about Corona. You can hear me, right? Is there a lot of disturbance, or yeah? Can anyone reply?
No, sir, no disturbance. It's all okay.
Okay, okay, shares. Thank you. So this is what is the importance of supply chain. And now you can see the two big company photos here. Okay, Walmart and Dell. Okay, Walmart is not a manufacturer of anything. Okay, they just take the products from someone, and customers come to Walmart and they buy the products. Okay, he's the Walmart is not a manufacturer of anything. Walmart is just the facilitator or kind of a helper for the customers and for the company both. But Walmart has excelled in the supply chain in such a way that the entire what do you say, it has become an example for many of the retail outlets. Normally retail outlets long back were normal, just जैसे हम लोग के पास we have a kirana store or a bigger kirana store where they used to have where we used to go for, or maximum for a wholesaler, like, okay, we used to go there. But Walmart bought the all wholesaler and distributor at one place and established a bigger distribution center. Okay, so that because of that, it could sell the products at a very lesser cost. Same way which we have DMart over here. Okay, which is Walmart. Why I'm taking Walmart is it was the first one to start. Yeah, so DMart and Big Bazaar took some copy pasting ideas from Walmart and started it. No doubt they are also very good in the business. So Walmart could afford this because it had economies of scale. What I mean by economies of scale is they can do everything in large quantity. They can buy in huge quantity from the company, and the customers also will take whatever they need in pretty much higher quantity. Okay, for the entire month or maybe for 2 or 3 months they used to buy the products from the Walmart. And why they used to buy the products from Walmart in such a huge quantity? Because Walmart was giving at a lesser price, lesser cost. Okay, and how they can afford it? They had built certain network. The distribution was something like that. The distribution center was like that. They owned the fleet of trucks where they used to replenish the items. I mean, refill the items in the Walmart store. So they could do that. Okay, on the other side, Dell. Okay, Dell is the manufacturer. Okay, and after manufacturing of the laptops or PCs, they used to directly supply to the customers. They cut off all the retailers, the distributors, the everyone in the chain. Okay, middlemen को पूरा है ना उड़ा दिया, directly from the manufacturer, directly from the factory to the customer. Okay, by excelling in their supply chain. Okay, so they didn't need to keep a lot of inventory of mm, uh, and they were always connected with the consumers, okay, who are actually going to use the laptops and computers. So they need what is the requirement and what are the changes. Okay, so they used to update a lot, Dell computers. So that is how they excel in their business, from the manufacturer directly to to the consumer. Okay, so because of this Bob, okay, we'll take a 2 minute break, okay, because it has reached almost my window. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, no, it's almost going. Okay, so this was the importance of the supply chain decisions. Okay, now I'll directly go to supply chain decision phases. Okay, this is the interesting one. Okay, now whenever a company is taking any deciding any supply chain strategy, मतलब how to do strategy build कैसे करें? Okay, first of all, in that, what kind of a supply chain or a business we are first of all into? Business क्या है हम लोग का? What is our business? And depending upon the business requirements, our supply chain strategy should be built. Okay, you can see a photo of PepsiCo supply chain here. PepsiCo doesn't concentrate on like in the last class also I have told you PepsiCo doesn't concentrate in the bottling of the plants, the bottling of the bottling plants of the cold drinks. It doesn't concentrate on that. Mostly, it concentrate on to the flavors, the type of variety we can offer into cold drinks. So they focus on that, their core processes. So they have a supply chain strategy that for a period of 10 to 15 years, we are not going to focus on some of the activities, and we are going to focus on some of the activities. Okay, so for 10 to 15 years, we are going to do that. That has been decided by the Pepsi. So we design a supply chain strategy or supply chain design we'll make in such a way that for 10 to 15 years, we are going to follow that. So that will be in line with our business strategy. Okay, so that is what PepsiCo did. And also, if you check about maybe even Amazon also. Okay, Amazon is not manufacturing anything. Amazon is just supplying. They are putting everything on the Amazon.com platform, Amazon.in, the online retail platform, on their website. Okay, they are not going to manufacture anything. Okay, that has been decided by the Amazon for maybe for next 10 to 15 years. So they have designed their supply chain in such a way that after we will get the products from the manufacturer and send it to the customers. That's it. That is our strategy. So for 10 to 15 years, this is not going to change. Similarly, if now after my strategy is decided, I'll go for planning. How to plan the supply chain for a period of 3 months to 1 year. This will be same. Okay, if I'm supplying some items from India to UK, from UK to maybe to north South America, South America to maybe Australia, Australia to Africa. So how I'm going to supply this item? Okay, if I am a producer of cloth apparel, Zara is one of the very innovative and efficient clothing apparel company. Okay, so that Zara is situated mostly in Spain. The headquarters is in Spain, but Zara sources its denim requirements, its stitching material from Bangladesh. Okay, it goes for designing in UK and sell the products in America. So it has involved. It is getting involved into a lot of countries, different countries. So how the supply chain of Zara should be? Okay, so that planning will be done in three months to 1 year. That will be the same. Okay, if I'm doing a planning, okay, how will I buy the products from Bangladesh? How will I get them stitched? How will I get the designing done from UK? How will I sell to the customer? That planning I'm doing, that will remain same for 1 year. Then from my strategy to my planning, from my planning to the operations, we will keep on changing daily or weekly. Okay, this is the flow chart of Walmart. Okay, see, the manufacturer will ship to the distribution center of the Walmart. This is another manufacturer which will ship the finished products to the distribution center of Walmart. Third manufacturer that will ship the distribution center to the Walmart. So all the products from manufacturer are coming to the distribution center. This distribution center is of Walmart. They are controlling it. Now from the distribution center, the truck will go to one of the store of Walmart, another store of Walmart, third store of Walmart. Okay, so this distribution will be weekly or daily, or the operations will change. Whether this retail store doesn't need some items, the truck will not go with that items over there. It will go with some another items. So what kind of supply chain operations we are going to implement? How we are going to check whether the supply of goods is there, whether the availability of goods is there in this retail store with the this system, RFID or barcode system. Okay, we have barcode for every item in Walmart, in DMart, in Big Bazaar, in more outlets, in Reliance Fresh, Reliance Smart. So we have RFID barcode on that. So depending upon the selling of the items, I'll come to know what is the stock of the items in this retail store. So all this will be monitored by here, and the entire supply chain is monitored by the distribution center. And this is how the daily weekly operations goes about. Okay, so starting from the building of strategy what will be our strategy, which depends upon the business. That strategy will remain constant for 10 to 15 years. Then I'll start planning of the supply chain, which will be same for 1 year at least, and 3 months to 1 year, how my supply chain network should be built. And after I build the network, how the operations actual supply chain will begin. Okay, that will be changed daily or weekly or whatever, frequently. Okay, so these are the decision phases of a supply chain. Okay, moving forward again, this one is quite interesting, and it is very important for the exam point of view as well. Process views of a supply chain. There are two views in this. Okay, the cyclical view, and another one is the push pull view. Okay. In cyclical view, you can see there are kind of cycle like arrangement here. Okay, there are five kind of stages here. First stage is supplier, second stage is manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and customer. Okay, this is a kind of a stages, and this are the cycles within that stages. So for example, procurement cycle is between supplier and manufacturer. Manufacturing cycle is between manufacturer and distributor, and so on. Okay, and why this cyclical view is, what is the relevance of it is, whenever customer places an order, it starts from here actually, from the top. Whenever a customer places an order, it goes into customer order cycle, from where to whom he'll place the order, to the retailer. Okay, if I take an example of booking a car, okay, by going to a car showroom. If I want to buy a, maybe a Tata Altroz. Okay, so as a customer, I'm going to a Tata showroom, who is a retailer, okay, for booking Tata Altroz. So I am this phase of customer going to a Tata showroom for Tata Altroz will be the customer order cycle. So customer will place, he'll only buy one car. Okay, so customer will place order of one car, it will go to retailer, it will follow this order cycle. Retailer will order Tata Altroz from the distributor of the Tata. So that will be in the replenishment cycle. Replenishment, it's kind of a refill. Okay, the Tata Altroz is not readily available in that store, so retailer is putting an order to the distributor. Now this customer who is coming, he'll place order of one car. Retailer, when he's placing an order to the distributor, he'll not order one car, because he might get many customers. Okay, many other customers might come, or may have came. So he'll put one order, but of many cars, maybe 5 or 6 cars he'll order from the distributor. So distributor will receive the order of 5 to 6 cars from one of the retailer, and distributor will ask the manufacturer to manufacture those many cars. So we'll go into manufacturing cycle. Now distributor will also receive the orders from different retailers as well. Okay, so one retailer is telling him 5 cars, another retailer maybe telling him 7 cars, another retailer might be telling him 2 cars. So he'll combine everything, and he'll put one order to the manufacturer saying 25 cars in this week or in this month, maybe. Okay, so the manufacturer is getting an order from the distributor of for manufacturing of how many, 20 or 30 cars. Then manufacturer will require some, maybe some tires or some parts of that cars. So he will tell the supplier according to whatever he has received from the various distributors. Okay, so from various distributors, what is the requirement of the car, he'll order it from the supplier. Okay, and supplier will supply to this manufacturer and the other manufacturers also. Okay, so in this case, with one car from one customer, there are too many cars getting added in the chain, and finally supplier will get a huge order. Okay, because there are many customers. Okay, and many retailers and a few distributors and one manufacturer, and maybe one supplier or two suppliers. So this is how a cycle view of a supply chain. They go into one of the cycle. Okay, customer. After this, the supplier supplies it. The procurement cycle gets completed. The manufacturer gets the supplies, and he manufactures it. Then the manufacturing cycle gets completed, and all the distributors will get the cars. And after that, the replenishment cycle gets completed. The distribution will replenish all the cars in the retailer's shop. After this, the customer order cycle completes, and the retailer will give the car or deliver the car to the customer. So this is how maybe a view of a supply chain from the customer order to the supplier, how it goes. Okay. Then another one is about push pull view. Okay. Push pull view is, see, here it is written. See this diagram here at the bottom. It is written customer order arrives. Okay. Okay. It is written customer order arrives here. Okay. Before that, it is the push process. After that, it is the pull process. Okay. This means before the customer order arrives, I'll do some process and I'll keep it. Okay. I'll make the products and I'll stock it in the anticipation that the customer order is going to come. Okay. This just in the previous example I told about the delivery of Tata Altroz, which was not available with the retailer. So it went on ordering till the supplier. The supplier will supply the materials, the manufacturer will build it, the distributor will distribute it, the retailer will sell it to the customers. So this this was the case. Whereas many a times you will go to the showroom, the car will be readily available and it can be delivered to you the next day. Okay, so because the car is already available. So if the car is already available, we are into push process. That means we will manufacture the car, we'll do all the processes and keep the car ready at this point, at the push pull boundary. We'll keep the car ready. And whenever the customer orders arrive, we can immediately give him. Okay, so there'll be a small pull process of some documentation and everything. And then we can immediately give the car to the customer. Okay, so that is the push process. I'll manufacture the products and keep it ready. Okay, it is also called as MTS, make to stock. Okay, I'll make the product to stock it in the anticipation that the customer order will arrive. Customer will order my product. Okay, so I'll be in the push process. Okay, I'm doing it before the customer order arrives. Now, there might be certain things, certain products where after the customer order arrives, I will start manufacturing it. So I'll be into pull process. Okay, so I'll not manufacture anything or not stock anything. Okay, just for example, I have made a house. I need a customized furniture in my house. Okay, I approach a carpenter. Carpenter will come to my house. He'll not have anything ready-made available in his shop. Okay, or in his godown. Okay, he'll not even have bought the sheets also. He'll come to your house, take all the measurements, ask you which kind of or which material or which kind of color. He'll ask you everything related to your furniture. Then he'll quote you a price. You will agree to it, or you'll do a negotiation or whatever it is, and then finally the deal is done. Then the carpenter will go and then he'll start buying the what do you say, the wooden sheets, the wooden material, the nuts, bolts, everything he'll start to buy. Okay, from here. Okay, now the process starts when the customer has ordered the furniture. So he'll buy it, then he'll manufacture, try to bring it to his godown. In godown, he'll employ some workers to make it as per the requirement. Then they'll make it. Then they'll come to your house. Then they finally do the fitting of that furniture in your home. Okay, so that is when you're ordering, and after ordering, the process is getting delivered. Okay, so these are the two different views: the cycle view and the push pull view. Okay, a garment company, shirts or pants, when you go to a shop, it should be readily available. So it is a kind of a push process. I'll already make the shirt and keep it ready in the store for buying it. So customer will go directly buy that shirt and come out. That is entirely push process where the product is already available. Where a customized furniture shop, they will not keep the furniture ready. They'll like a carpenter itself. They'll come to your house, take the measurements, and do and deliver you the product. So that is entirely a pull process. Okay, two different views, cycle view and push pull view, are quite important from the exam point of view. Okay, now are you bored? You need a break or something? Okay, no reply means you're fine. Okay, so these are the two views, and I'll come to the enablers of supply chain performance. Okay, now this supply chain is, what do you say? Mm, we need to improve it, as a company needs to improve, keep on improving. Okay, like in the evolution stage, I have told. Okay, now don't look at this. In the evolution stage, I was mentioning that initially, okay, I'll give you a story, background story. See, if you ask your grandfathers, grandmothers, maybe your even your parents, okay, might be knowing when they used to order for a scooter or maybe a car. Okay, Bajaj Chetak, Bajaj कब का था? So they used to the delivery used to take maybe 6 months to 1 year, because the technology was not that good, so that the production was very slow. Okay, so during that time, the company who can produce the item was the leader in the market. They used to sell the products in the market. That was that era. Then later on, the production capabilities of the companies got increased. Everyone could manufacture. Manufacturing was not a big deal. Then the company started stressing, कि, see, our product is so excellent, so good, so fantastic. How can you not buy my product? ठीक है, इतना अच्छा है मेरा प्रोडक्ट, कैसे नहीं खरीदोगे तुम लोग? Okay, my product has this features, its performance is like this, everything is like this, so it is so good. You have to buy this product. You will, if you buy, you are setting a standard, a status of you, of yourself in the society. So if you buy this product, if you buy my product, this was the approach of the company. Okay, they were fantasizing about their products. They were explaining the different features about their products. Later on, nowadays, if you see any company doing like that, you will be least interested. Why? Because you want a product which will satisfy your wants, your needs. Okay, now the company is not providing you products, they're providing you solution. You are facing a problem of going outside and getting the order. Zomato will tell you, Uber Eats will tell you, Swiggy will tell you, you sit at home, we'll bring the order. They are providing you a solution. Why to go out, go to the restaurant, take the parcel, come to home, open and eat it? Why you're doing all that? We'll provide you a solution, we'll bring you the food at your doorstep. Zomato is providing that. Zomato is providing a solution for not, and maybe you're lazy or you don't want to go out. Okay, it's providing a solution. Okay, the mobile phones, they are providing you with the solution of many things. Okay, you want to talk on phone, you want to be connected with everyone whenever you're outside, inside. Okay, you want to take photos, you want to take selfies, we'll provide you the solution, we'll provide you front cameras. Okay, when I bought my first cell phones, I didn't had the front cameras in that. Okay, we never took selfies at that time, but we didn't had front camera. Even when front camera came, we never used to take selfies. Okay, so that was the new thing the company introduced. Okay, so company is not doing a promotion, company is educating you. Company is educating you how to tell the name. Okay, if long back when Volkswagen, okay, whatever you call it, when it came in India, okay, I had received a newspaper. I have received a newspaper, in that when you open a certain page of that newspaper, automatically there was a sensor of light. The light used to fall on that sensor, and a recording was played. Okay. Volkswagen has came to India. It has a lot of variety of cars. Please go to the nearest store of Volkswagen. Thus, auto. This was the recording played. Okay, so they were educating the customers that we have come to India, we have these many varieties of car, and Volkswagen, thus auto. How to pronounce it? That was also a very interesting thing at that time. Volkswagen बोलना है नहीं, वो लोग Volkswagen बोलते हैं. V बोलना है, उसका F बोलना है. It is from that country. We called V as F. So that was the education done by the company. You have seen an advertisement of a toothpaste, Colgate toothpaste. They put a brush on your TV screen, and they put a lot of paste on that. Okay, we never generally put that much paste on a toothbrush and brush our teeth. Okay, they put a lot of toothpaste. It's a full wave की तरह रहता है toothpaste. Okay, so they are educating you to use that much of toothpaste. They are not promoting a product. They are educating you कि ठीक है इतना toothpaste लगाओ यार, तो so that my sales will increase. That is what the company is doing nowadays. They are providing you solution. They are educating you how to use the product. In the initial days, it was not like that. So the supply chain also has evolved like this. Okay, so initially supply chain was something else. Later on, it was something else. Now companies are more focusing on that, on logistics and supply chains. So you have companies like FedEx, UPS. Here, the courier services, they initially, long back, 10, 20, 15 years back, there was no Amazon and no Flipkart. Okay, maybe, yeah, 15 years back though, there was no Amazon. Okay, I ordered my first book from Flipkart in 2009, I guess, 2009 or 2010. First, no, not in 2013 or 14. First book from Flipkart. So before that, there was no kind of online retailing. Okay, we used to go to the shop and search the books. They were a huge Odyssey करके there was a shop. Yeah, you have a fest in name of that. Odyssey करके there was a shop in my city at that time. So it was a shop wherein our entire A building will cover. One floor of A building will cover. So that big was the shop. Only they were selling books. Okay, now you will never find a shop like that because books are readily available online. You can search it, you can order them easily. So no one will set up such a big store of books nowadays because we have increase in the supply chain. Okay, chalo, I'll continue with this again. Okay, enablers of supply chain performance. So, just a second. Okay, enablers of supply chain performance. In this, the first one is improvement in communication and IT. One second. Yeah, sorry. So improvement in communication and IT. You see a Asian Paints, a kind of a machine and a small monitor over here. Okay, you know how the paint industry was long time back. Whenever we want to paint our house or paint our building, okay, then we used to go to this kind of a shop, Asian Paints या Berger Paints या दूसरे paints के shop में जाते थे. We used to get a catalog. In that catalog there were thousands and thousands of shades. ग्रीन ये थोड़ा कम ग्रीन है, ये डार्क ग्रीन है, ये डार्कर ग्रीन है, फिर ये ब्लू है, दिस इज स्काई ब्लू, दिस इज रॉयल ब्लू, दिस इज दैट ब्लू, दिस इज दिस ब्लू करके दे वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ स्मॉल what do you say, sheets or small papers stuck to that catalog. Okay, but I'll show it to you. Yeah, just like this. We used to had this kind of a catalogs, and we used to select it. Okay, ठीक है, कौन सा इसमें देखो, from yellow these many shades are there, from for pink these many shades are there, for purple, for blue, for green these many shades are there. And we used to imagine कि हाँ, if I want to put this color on my room, how my room will look like. I used to imagine that. Okay, so imagination power, we need to use it. Okay, at that time. So, and company needs to keep a small sample of it in their retail outlet also. So these many shades of paints, they used to manufacture it. And suppose someone doesn't like this shade, don't buy this shade, then the inventory of this shade was getting wasted. It was occupying space in the shop. Okay, so this was all the companies, the Berger paint, the Asian paints, the Nippon paints, everyone used to had this shades of paint, and you might also have seen that. Okay, but now this is not the case. Okay, Asian paints came up with this idea. Actually, the Berger paint came up with this idea, but Asian paints implemented it. What they improved is they told the customers, you bring your own color and we will make that color and give it to you. And how they make it, whenever they bring the color, this monitor which is kept here, this machine will analyze, this computer basically will be fed with the color whichever the customer is bringing. Okay, as engineers we know that any color can be manufactured or produced or can be created with the three or four basic colors. Okay, and one base and three basic colors. R stands for red, G and B, RGB, red, green, blue. We can use these three colors and a mixture of a base paint, maybe a white paint. Okay, so white and RGB we can mix in certain proportion, and we can manufacture any of the color. Okay, so that proportion was decided by the computer. When the customer used to bring the color sample to the shop, that specification will be read by the computer, and computer will tell what is the combination of RGB needs to be put so that we can make that color. So this machine which you see here, this machine will be fed with that combination of RGB. Okay, and it will, and a base will be added, a white paint will be added into that, and the paint which is required by the customer will come out from here. So that instantly it will be done, maybe in a matter of 1 hour. Okay, so in matter of 1 hour the customer will get what paints he required, and all the boxes you see here are majorly of white paints. Okay, because you need only RGB 3 kind of paints, that if that is kept in the shop, that is enough. RGB and white paints, only four type of paints need. Not like the catalog, which even now we can have a catalog, but we don't need to keep all the shades of paint bottles in our shop. That was entirely removed. So that was a huge change, and the supply chain got improved like hell. Okay, it improved a lot when, because of this improvement in communication and IT, basically IT. Okay, so IT engineers. And so this was the one of the enablers of supply chain performance. Okay, they help the supply chain basically. Now you see this emergence of third party logistics. You have seen this person. Okay, I don't know who is it. He is carrying this e-cart bag. Okay, e-cart is the logistics arm of Flipkart. So whenever Flipkart wants to send some items, ship the items, they have tied up with this third party. Why we call third party? First parties are consumer, second parties are Flipkart, who are dealing with each other. Then the third party is getting involved, who is only delivering the products. He's not interested who is the customer, what he has ordered. He's not interested. He's only what do you say, delivering the items. Flipkart has told them, take item from here, deliver to this customer. That e-card is only doing that. So he is the third party logistics. Why Flipkart has given this to third party logistics is they can focus more on their core processes. Okay, I have a friend, Sajid Karke. He used to work in this Planet M. Okay, Planet M again is into declining industry. Planet M was a company where they used to sell the music CDs. Okay, so there was a time where we were never able to download the music from the internet. Okay, nowadays with you can go to YouTube and you can see the music video also, but there was a time when we cannot hear the music unless we buy music CDs, or it was very difficult to get any song on our PC because we didn't had cell phones. So computer पे सुनते थे हम लोग गाने. So when we used to hear songs on computers, we used to go to house, and we didn't had what do you say, क्या pen drives be, it was very difficult to find 1 GB pen drive was the biggest pen drive at that time. Okay, we had pen drives of 512 MB, 256 MB के pen drives होते थे तभी. Okay, so pen drives were also very difficult. We used to take blank CDs of I don't remember, 10 MB शायद, 10 MB और 100 MB के CDs, हाँ नहीं 10 MB के, 10 MB के we used to had CDs. We used to take it to our friends home. इसको burn करके दे, इसमें गाने डाल के दे करके. Okay, so he used to put that songs in that CD. We used to come to our home, to take that CDs, put it in our computer. Okay, so that CD is wasted now. Kadam. Once the songs, that was not a rewritable disc. Okay, so we used to give CDs to our friends to take the songs, and for just for listening songs, we used to open the computers and listen to it. That was the time. And later on pen drive came, so the transferring got easier. Then later on we can put now we can put songs in mobile phones. Okay, so everything got improved like that. So one of my friend who was in Planet M, that company lost its customers because they used to sell music CDs and music was readily available on internet and with many people. So they lost whatever the core business was there, so they started shifting to certain things. So the entire supply chain, which was strategy, the strategy of the business was to sell the music CDs. Now the era has changed, the times have changed, then music is readily available online. So their entire supply chain strategy was changed. Afterwards Planet M, with M stands for music, they started selling games for the kids. Games के वो लेगो के गेम्स आते हैं ना, लेगो मैकेनिक के गेम्स. We used to we fit something, design some cars, design some factories or something like that. They started selling those games, so the entire supply chain strategy of that company got changed. Okay, so this is how, whenever there is a change in the businesses, change in the IT, change in the whatever changes, the company needs to keep on adapting this change. Okay, when Flipkart initially started its operations in Bangalore, okay, it was just a kind of a trial. Okay, Binny Bansal and Sachin Bansal, who are the founders of Flipkart, now they don't. Now they are not there in the company. They have left the company after Flipkart got acquired by Walmart. So when they started the company in Bangalore, they didn't expected it to be become such a huge company. Okay, now later on, now Amazon came, the biggest. Then the Alibaba came. Then many online retailing companies came. So they are into certain things like when I used to order from Flipkart long back, it used to take at least 10 to 15 days to get my order. So supply chain was that slow. Nowadays, if we order from Amazon, if we are the Prime customer, we'll get the delivery in 1 or 2 days. Okay, depends upon the this availability of the product, but generally we get it into 1 or 2 days. Okay, so that's the change in this supply chain. Okay, so the company needs to get updated. Okay, now last thing, yeah, last thing is enhanced interfirm coordination capabilities. Okay, so in this, what is happening is, who are having their presence globally, a global network of companies is there. Same like Zara, which I've told you, or for that matter, Toyota, and many other companies are there. Nike, Apple hai. Okay, all these companies have manufacturing in certain countries, have distribution, have supply from some another country, and and the customers in some another company. So they should have a proper coordination between them. Okay, one example I want to give is McDonald's. Everyone knows about it. McDonald's is present in more than 80 countries in the world. Okay, almost 80 countries in the world, McDonald's has a presence. So McDonald's also had a presence in Iceland. Okay, Iceland किधर है? इधर है देखो. A small island here. Okay, just above this yellow one, a small island here, Iceland. We had McDonald's over there. Okay, McDonald's in that country never bought anything locally. That means they didn't buy. They didn't had any suppliers from Iceland. They used to get many things from Germany, some things from Norway, some things they used to ship it from US. Okay, like the burger buns, they used to get it from Germany. The meat which they want, they used to get it from US. So they were importing many things. And when the 2008 economic crisis hit, so there was the supply got increased, the supply got decreased, the costs got increased, so the cost of the burgers increased, and there was no coordination between the supply of meat from the US and buns from Germany. There was no coordination, and because of that, everything got it was destroyed, and McDonald's had to leave Iceland. Okay, so if the interfirm coordination is not there, then it is very difficult for the supply chain performance to be. Okay, so we as companies are connected throughout the globe, they need to have a good coordination. Only then they can excel into this. One more example, if Harry Potter. Okay, everyone, pata nahi. I have not read it. My sister was very interested in reading Harry Potter books. I have never read it. I have only seen the movies, and that too not all of them. But Harry Potter, everyone knows. Everyone has heard about it. Okay, uh, when last book of Harry Potter was about to release. Okay, Harry Potter was also read in almost 50 countries in the world. Okay, and they had the supplier in the 50 countries of the world. So when J.K. Rowling wrote the last book, okay, she was the author. When she wrote the last book, she made sure that the ending was kept so secret that it should not leak in any of the countries. And it was a book, it was not a website, so that with just a click of a button we'll release the book. It was not like that. It was a book, and it was needed to be shipped to each and every country, and in that country each and every city where the store was, where the bookstore was. So, and before that they used to manufacture, print the books also. So while printing, any worker can go back and read what is the ending, and could have leaked everywhere in the world. अरे लास्ट में हैरी नहीं मरता है, ऐसे बता दिया तो there is no importance of that book. There will be no importance of that book. So J.K. Rowling kept such a secret. How they managed is, when the factory where the book was getting printed, that factory was at a very dim light, and throughout everywhere there were CCTV cameras. The light was so dim that even keeping book at very close to your eyes, you should not be able to read what is written in the book. So the workers had to work in such low lights, not the pitch black, नहीं तो काम ही नहीं कर सकते, दिख रहे नहीं है. So बहुत कम light था, very low dim light. They were producing, printing the books, packing it, sealing it. Everything was done in very dim light so that no one can read the book. After the printing happened, okay, after the book is packed into the boxes, the books were very securely shipped to each and every location throughout the world, and there was no tampering. Like your question papers are question papers are shipped. Okay, your VTU question papers are never shipped. Okay, they arrive directly to the college online. But whenever NEET exam papers or AIEEE exam papers, when there was not online, NEET is still offline. So whenever they are shipped in very secured ways that tampering should not happen. ठीक है, उसमें कुछ लीकेज नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, whatever the box is coming, and the box should not get damaged or something like that. They need to keep it very secure throughout the India. The NEET की question paper. Similarly, वो books का भी the distribution was such a huge task that at a single point of time, एक एक बजे सुबह के 9 o'clock को the store should be open and everyone should go and buy Harry Potter books, and then they used to come to know the what is the ending of that Harry Potter book. So that was the excel in the supply chain performance. Penguin India is a company which was supplying Harry Potter books throughout India. So they had a Herculean task to do all those things, so that एक भी leakage हो गया तो it J.K. Rowling had initially मतलब what do you say धमकी दिया था उसने, okay, कि ऐसा होना ही नहीं चाहिए, नहीं otherwise I'll put something. Okay, so that was a Herculean task for all the books provided throughout the world. That was the in the supply chain performance which we incurred, because there should not be any leakage, there should not be any damage. It should not arrive one day before also. एक दिन पहले ओपन नहीं कर सकते, एक दिन बाद भी ओपन नहीं कर सकते. Exactly on that same day it's be open. Okay, so that was one of the case. Okay, okay, give me some more minutes. It will be a last slide of today. Okay, so this drivers of the supply chain performance. Okay, so I can do it in slideshow. Okay, drivers of the supply chain, it is based on two things here. Okay, earlier slides were the enablers who help the supply chain performance. Okay, who help to improve the supply chain performance. Supply chain didn't expect them. Okay, but something happened in IT, something happened in um the the third parties, or something happened in the coordination. So they helped the improvement in the supply chain. In this slide, which is the last slide of today, okay, in this, these are the drivers: facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, pricing. These are the drivers. They drive and improve the supply chain performances. Okay, these drivers help in these two things. Whoa. Okay, efficiency and responsiveness. Okay, efficiency is how efficiently you can make your product, make it in a good quality. Okay, make it available for the customers with proper packing, proper packaging. Okay, that is what efficiency will be. Okay, कितना अच्छे से you can produce the product. Okay, what is the quality, the uh, what you say, the quality of packing, the quality of the product, how you can maintain it, the size of the product, the weight of the product. Okay, everything. If you can produce in that way, then you are an efficient one. Okay, like we when we buy a biscuit, or we suppose we buy a 1 kg of rice. Okay, Dawat basmati rice, we are buying it from more. It should be 1 kg, right? It should not be 950 grams. It should not be 1050 grams. It should be exactly 1000 grams, 1 kg. So if I am able to get 1001 gram, then it is fine. ठीक है, 1 ग्राम ज़्यादा हो गया, 1 ग्राम कम हो गया, 999 grams हो गया, still it is fine. So what is the error I can bear? So that will account to my efficiency. How efficient I am by producing exactly that amount. Okay, if I am buying a cell phone which has a back cover of white color ka screen है, white color ka cover है पीछे, so that should be exactly white. It should not be off white or some another shade of white. It should be exactly that white. So that will determine how efficient I am in producing that cover. Okay, so that is the what do you say, uh, that is the efficiency which the company will be trying to get it. Okay, efficiently manufacturing the product. Responsiveness, on the other hand, is the availability of the product. When I'm going to the store to buy a mobile phone with white cover, it should be available over there. नहीं, white cover कभी नहीं मिलता है. Okay, I'll come tomorrow, I'll come next day, I'll come next week. Okay, at least white cover वाला phone है या नहीं है. If it is not there, the company is low on responsiveness. If I'm going to a more outlet to buy maybe okay liquid soap, Vim liquid खरीदने जा रहा हूँ. I'm going to more store to buy Vim liquid. It should be available over there. If I'm going today, it is not available. If I'm going tomorrow, it is not available. Then I'll not go the next day to the most store. I'll go somewhere else. So I should be responsive enough for the customer. I am making efficient products. Vim liquid का exactly 100 ml का bottle 100 ml है उसमें. I am efficient, but that 100 ml bottle should be available. So that is responsiveness. So the making of the product will determine my efficiency. The availability of the product will determine my responsiveness. Okay, so yeah, both of these things are very important, and to achieve these both things, we have to take care of all these facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, and pricing. We have to take care of all this. Okay, so I'll go one by one with this. Okay, first is facility. Okay, in facility, it's basically the actual location of the supply chain. Okay, where my supply chain network is there, where my product is will be there. Okay, while my product will be stored, it will be assembled, it will be manufactured, it will be fabricated. What is happening with my product? Okay, so that will determine my facility. Okay, so Toyota and Honda, these two company names I have given in front of that. So Toyota is a company, again, it's a very excellent company in the case where they have revolutionary revolution. They have bought a revolution. Okay, I'm not getting that word. They have bought a revolution in the field of automobile with their improvement and with their Six Sigma, with their Kaizen, Pokayoke, Ichiban, just in time. Okay, all those techniques, they have improved the automobile industry. So whenever a Toyota is setting up a manufacturing plant in any of the country, they make sure that all the suppliers are localites. If they are supplying tires to Toyota, if they are supplying glasses to Toyota, if they are supplying windscreen, if they are supplying mirrors, all of the suppliers are local. They will not ship anything from outside. All the suppliers will be local. All the suppliers will be very near to Toyota, so that immediately they'll order. Okay, I need 100 windshields. Immediately the order should come. And Toyota Innova, okay, one of the, not the Innova Cresta, the earlier one, Innova, Toyota Innova was assembled in almost 16 to 18 minutes of time. इतना फास्ट था असेंबली उसका. That means when they call the suppliers, the items used to come in such a way that after the items arrive, the assembly of the entire Innova used to take around 16 to 18 minutes. इतना फटक से एक Innova was getting ready. If they get a call, we need Toyota Innova today, yeah, tomorrow morning, then they'll call the suppliers. Immediately all the products will come. The products should be available at the suppliers end. They will make sure of that the products are available at the suppliers end. They'll ship the products to Toyota assembly unit. They'll assemble every Toyota in 16 minutes, and at the end of the day they'll be ready with too many Toyotas ready to be shipped to whatever whichever retail store is demanding. Okay, so that's how they achieved this excellence. Okay, because of the facilities, the location of the suppliers, the location of the assembly plant. Same way, same goes for the Honda as well. Okay, they concentrate more on the local markets. Whenever Toyota again is a Japanese company, Honda again is a Japanese company. But when they came to India, when they went to US, when they went to European countries, they focused more on the local suppliers. So they built the facilities over there, the assembling facilities, the facilities for the suppliers to supply the items at a faster rate. So that's one of the drivers of the supply chain. Okay, next is Amazon. Okay. Oh, sorry. Next is inventory. Inventory is where I'm keeping my all the raw materials, where I'm keeping the finished goods, where I'm keeping the work in progresses, where I'm keeping everything of my product. Okay. Facilities is where everything is happening. Okay. Stored, assembling, manufacturing, everything. Where my supplies are there, everything. Inventory is only just I'm stacking the materials, stacking my products, stacking my raw materials. ओके, सिर्फ मैं सामान रख रहा हूँ, दैट्स इट. Okay, so Amazon, be what they do is, Amazon also has a warehouse. Okay, it has inventory where they keep, for example, if we take a books. Okay, Amazon will have a warehouse where they will keep those kind of books which are sold very fast. ओके, लाइक चेतन भगत का कोई बुक आया. ओके, एवरी मेनी ऑफ यू, ठीक है, आई एम नॉट अ फैन ऑफ चेतन भगत, बट उसका बुक जब आता है तो Amazon विल कीप हिज बुक into his into Amazon's store warehouse or Amazon's inventory. Why? Because when the book is launched, many people will order that book. So Amazon know that whenever Chetan Bhagat books will come, the ordering frequency of the customer is very high. So immediately orders आने start हो जाएंगे. So Amazon will keep his books into its warehouse. But for that matter, any book on financial modeling or anything where very high fundu topic रहेगा, उसके ऊपर book है कुछ. Okay, then it will not be frequently ordered on Amazon. So Amazon will not keep that book in its warehouse. It might keep in the suppliers. It will just be in contact with the supplier कि हाँ तुम्हारे पास book है ना. Okay, so whenever it is required, we'll let you know. It will not waste its inventory in keeping that book which is not frequently ordered. And there might be certain books that will be never ordered. Okay, once in a while they will be ordered. Like the book on economics which is costing about 10,000 rupees. Okay, एक full module है. There are 5 books in that. 10,000 rupees का the cost of that module is 5 books in that series, that no one orders. Okay, very rare cases. Okay, so when that is the case, Amazon will not keep that book with the supplier also. Okay, whenever I have bought one such book. Okay, that book was not available in India. It was available in UK. Okay, so I didn't had a confidence ke whether I'll get it here or not, but it was available on Amazon. So I just placed an order. That order almost took 20 to 25 days to reach me, that book. Okay, so what Amazon did, Amazon has a distributor everywhere. So when I booked that book on Amazon, Amazon told me that it will take 20 to 25 days. Okay, then Amazon will place that order to someone else, that someone else will place the order to someone else. So the orders keep on getting placed till the manufacturer in the UK. So then the books will be shipped, and it will take this much time, and finally Amazon will get it and get me the book delivered. Okay, so Amazon maintains its inventory in such a way that a frequently used books will be kept in its inventory. Less frequently used books will kept with distributor, and rarely ordered books will be shipped at whenever the customer orders it. Okay, this is how they manage the inventory. Okay, then third is transportation. Transportation, I have written Blue Nile over here. Okay, basically a transportation is what, from one point to another point I need to take my product and deliver it to the customer. Okay, so that's it. So Blue Nile is one of online retailer of diamonds. Okay, they sell diamonds online. Blue Nile is a company which sell diamonds online, and it is mostly situated in this United States, in US. So what they do is, and a very high value diamonds are there. Diamonds हैं बहुत महंगे रहेंगे obviously. So Blue Nile, from its inventory, okay, directly in the hands of the customer, just like our Dell. Okay, from the factory directly in the hands of the customer. Similarly with Blue Nile, directly from the factory, from the where the diamonds are getting manufactured, direct from there to the customers. Okay, with a good supply chain performance. So Blue Nile is cutting down all the retailers, fancy shops रहेंगे, gold के shops रहते हैं हम लोग, golds and diamonds के jewelry shops. We go, there are a lot of diamonds there are many salesmen, they keep on showing you these are the diamond ring, ये है करके बहुत सारे दिखाते रहते हैं वो. Everything will be cut down by this. And because of that, Blue Nile could offer those diamond products at a lesser cost. So they hired a company called as FedEx. ठीक है, FEDEX. Okay, FedEx करके company they hired, and they were shipping it directly to the customers. So they cut off all the middlemen after the manufacturing of diamonds. वो किधर है? हाँ. So this is what they achieved in transportation. Okay. Next is about information. I have written a 7-Eleven. Okay, 7-Eleven is just like our more outlet, and the 7-Eleven, this 7-Eleven excel in the information of the supply chain. The drivers of the supply chain performance for 7-Eleven is information. Why? Because whenever a product is bought from a 7-Eleven store, okay, you can imagine more store. Okay, whenever a product is bought from a 7-Eleven or a more store, then that product has been removed from the system, and that information will be directly be going to the headquarters, that from this store this product has been removed. Okay, so from till so for the end of the day, whatever products have been sold, they will have a track of it. And when the replenishment, when the refill of that products need to be done on the stacks, ठीक है, वो शेल्फ्स है, वो शेल्फ्स में वापस प्रोडक्ट्स रखने के लिए, व्हेन द ट्रक शुड गो, दे विल keep a check on that, so that whenever a customer comes to the more outlet, whenever a customer comes to the 7-Eleven outlet, they should find a product, because they don't have any inventory, right? You have seen any time when you are going to a have you seen any time when you go to a more outlet, okay, when you ask them कि, "अरे, this maybe I'm looking out for a tomato sauce, okay, Maggi tomato ketchup, I'm searching that, I'm where it is." So that person will look here and there, okay, and if that product is not available, not to be seen, he'll tell it is not available. He'll not go somewhere in the inventory and find out, okay, because it doesn't have any inventory. The more outlet or the big bazaar, even for that matter, DMart, and for that matter, they don't have any inventory nearby. They cannot they cannot go to some inventory and they bring you the product. अच्छा इधर खत्म होता है, एक पांच छह लेके आके इधर तीन रख दिया और एक आपको दे दिया. It will not happen like that. Okay, so they work on the information immediately when the shelves are getting emptied with the products. Okay, the products are getting sold out, that information will be immediately given to the headquarters or the distribution center of that area, so that the replenishment of the items is done immediately. Okay, so that is about the information. Next is about sourcing. Now sourcing, yeah, I have told this few slides back about Zara. Okay, Zara, anyone interested in this, you can go through the what do you say, the story of Zara, how it I'll just give an insight. There was a small garment tailor in Spain. ठीक है, स्पेन करके कंपनी कंट्री है विच इज एट द साउथ ऑफ यूरोप. ओके, देयर वाज अ स्मॉल गारमेंट कंपनी. ओके, गारमेंट टेलर था, कंपनी भी नहीं थी, एक टेलर था. ही यूज्ड टू design the products, design the apparels, the shirts, t-shirts, the ladies wear, the gents wear, in such a fashionable so it was just very good for the eyes. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे से डिजाइन करता था, and he thought he'll make a company. So he started a company long back. He started a company, he started designing, then he started selling it offshore as well, to different countries, to Americas, to Asia, Asian continent, to Australia. He started shipping it. and they started opening, and they named it as a Zara collection, and they started shipping it. When they take the materials, okay, they take the materials from one country, they send those materials to Asian countries, mainly to Bangladesh, okay, for stitching. Bangladesh, Philippines, okay, these are the countries where the Zara clothes are stitched. They are cut into a specific shape, and they are stitched. After stitching, the products will be shipped to some another country. Then they will do all the labeling and everything, okay. Then it will be shipped to different countries for sale. This is how a sourcing of Zara will happen. They will buy from somewhere else, they'll ship from somewhere else, the stitching of that, and specific the designing of that will happen in UK. Okay, so from everywhere they are getting connected. So they are sourcing their materials, they are sending it to different country, they are sourcing it from there, they are sending it to different countries. So they do a lot of things so that they can reduce the price of the product and always keep updating. You know, one interesting thing about Zara is, when you have well, you don't have in Belgaum, but I guess you have in Hubli as the Zara store. Okay, but one interesting thing about Zara is, when you see a person who has apparel of एक shirt है उसके पास, which is of Zara, you will very rarely find some another person who is wearing the same shirt of Zara. Why this is because whenever Zara launches its collection of clothes, it launches it for a limited period of time and with limited collection. So when that collection, when the customer come to the shop, they buy it. एक बार खत्म हो गया ना, once the stock is complete, that stock is complete. It will never get replenished. It will get replenished with new kind of clothes. Okay, so ऐसे होता है. So whenever you go to a Zara shop, you'll find something new every time. It doesn't happen in other stores. Like in West Side, if I went to West Side to buy a T-shirt, that the T-shirt which I bought 6 months back was also available there. Okay, so that will never happen in Zara. The apparels will get sold and they will not get replenished. एक बार बिक गया ना खत्म, then new apparels will come. So that the customer will keep waiting when the new apparels will come, and as soon as they come, they immediately go and buy it, and Zara will not stack the um, apparels, and every time a new apparel will come. Okay, that's how a sourcing and they do. Okay, then last about is Amazon. Okay, Amazon, again, why I have given the example is about pricing. Okay, now once you order something on Amazon, okay, it gives you what do you say, two options. Okay, if you're an Amazon Prime customer, okay, the order will be shipped in 1 or 2 days. If you're a normal customer, also you get another two option in some products. You can get you can pay this much and you can get the product in 3 to 5 business days. Okay, that means 50% on 50 rupees on this product, extra delivery charge will be put if you want it within 3 to 5 days. But if you're not that in a hurry to buy that product, you can wait for 10 days also, 15 days also. You can select that option whenever we select for free shipping. फ्री शिपिंग आराम से आएगा प्रोडक्ट 10-15 दिन के बाद में, 10-15 days afterwards that product will arrive to you. So that is the pricing which will be done by Amazon. If you want the product in 1 or 2 days, you should be an Amazon Prime members by paying some amount. Okay, if you want it in 3 to 5 business days, you should pay some price so that you will get the product in 3 to 5 days. If you want your product reach after 10 or 15 days, you can opt for free shipping. So by this pricing, Amazon adjusts its supply chain. People who are an Amazon Prime customers who need in the product in 1 or 2 days, they try to focus on those customers and improve their supply and deal the supply chain in such a way कि उसको immediately he'll get the product. The person who has free shipping 10 to 15 days, उसके लिए वो लोग आराम से ship कर सकते हैं. So they can handle supply chain in such a way, and so the pricing is also in such a way. Okay, so this is what about the drivers of the supply chain is. Okay, uh, well, I have prepared till here itself. Only two things are remaining in first model. Will I'll do it in the next class. So I want to ask. Okay, many of some of you have left. Okay, so any doubts? Anything you want to ask here? Didn't understood or want some additional explanation? Okay, I started with this a supply chain, the stages of the supply chain, how a product is packed, how a customer gets the product, and then what are the evolution. Initially, there were no variety, but huge penetration was there throughout the supply chain. Then later on, too many suppliers came into picture for assembling of one product, and in the Dell, customized products were given to the customers. And why it is important? Because to achieve the strategic fit, to achieve the business excellence, we need a good supply chain. Then there were decision phases. A company will build a supply chain strategy in line with the business strategy for a period of 10 to 15 years. Then they will, after the strategy is built, they'll start this planning of supply chain, which will be there for at least 3 months to 1 year. That same planning will be getting executed. The plan will be made for at least for a year. Then the operations will start after the planning is done. The operation can keep on changing weekly or daily. Okay, with an example of Walmart. Okay. Then we went to the process views, how the process of supply chain is there. That there are two views, the cycle view. Okay. So the customer will place an order to the retailer, retailer will place an order to the distributor, distributor will place an order to the manufacturer. So there will be different cycles within the two, a customer and a supplier. Here he is the customer, he is the supplier. Here he's in this, he's the customer, he's the supplier. So like that, it will, the cycles will go, and finally the customer will get the product. And push pull view, whether we'll manufacture the product and keep it ready for the customer, or we'll start manufacturing when the customer order arrives. So push process, make to stock. Okay, pull process, make to order. Okay, or assemble to order. Okay, the example of garment company which keeps the clothing ready for the customer, and the example of a furniture shop which will start working when they get the order from the customer. Okay, then enablers of supply chain performance, how supply chain improved because of this, because of communication and IT. The supply chain improved. Example of Asian Paints. Okay, we used to get a catalog of various paints available in that, and we used to select one of the paint, and then the company used to keep inventory of all those different shades. Okay, later on, company started this there was a invention in IT that with the computer or the system used to read what the combination of the colors should be in order to produce that particular shade. And with the base of white paint and the combination of red, green and blue, they used to produce that paint. So there was a change in the supply chain, because we don't need to supply all those shades, paint boxes, to the retailers. And the entire mixing of retailer is happening in retail store itself. We don't need to go to the company. Okay. So next was the third party logistics. The company will not focus on everything. They will give the unimportant things to third party. Okay. Why it is called third party? The first party is the consumer, second party is the company. Okay. The third one, who is just is a facilitator between company and the customer, is a third party person. Uh, eCart, okay, which is the logistics arm of Flipkart, is a third party. Okay, then enhance interfirm coordination capabilities, where many of the countries getting involved, many of the cities are getting involved, and many of the firms are getting involved to build one product. Then the coordination is very important. Okay, and this improved because of, again, traveling and IT. Long back we used to only do supply products using ships. Okay, and ships took a little more time. Now flights are there, so we can ship the products very immediately through flights. Okay, and good qualities of roads are there, good faster railways are there, so I can ship the facilities of products very fast. Then the drivers of the performance, each of these things will drive the supply chain, which will help the to improve the supply chain. So this was all about it. Okay, so anything you want to ask, whether you are understanding?